Namaskar and welcome. My name is Rania Kapoor and today we've come to the final episode of this series. So far, we've spoken about earning money, saving it, protecting it, and understanding it. But today's question is slightly different. What is money for? This is Future You, Financial Goals and Giving Back. Most money decisions are made for today. Today's needs, today's desires, today's pressure. But every financial decision also shapes someone else. Your future self. The question is not how much money will I have. The question is what kind of life will that money support? When people hear financial goals, they often think of amounts. But real goals are about outcomes. Security during illness, independence in old age, less stress during emergencies, dignity, not dependency. Money is a tool to reach those outcomes, not the goal itself. Short-term goals keep life stable, like emergency funds, small savings, debt control. Meanwhile, long-term goals shape life directions. Retirement, children's education, health security, a peaceful later life. Both matter. Ignoring either creates imbalance. Money is often seen as something to earn, spend, or save. But money can also be supporting others, strengthening communities, creating impact. Giving is not about how much you have, it's about intention and consistency. So let's hear from the public. So do you think when we earn small amounts, it's very important to give back to society?
Absolutely, it is important to give back to the society. Not only to the society, but the source from where you have received it. So we get from the universe. So definitely everything comes under the universe and you should give back to it because givers gain. So it's gratitude only the key that if you have received today, there is something that you have to return it back to. In another word, you can say that that's an investment without going for the transactional things that you can get more.
मैम मुझे लगता है बिल्कुल हम लोग को करना चाहिए और आप चैरिटी भले ही 1 रुपये से करें आपको भगवान जी 1 करोड़ तक देंगे. हम तो हमेशा यही अपने पूर्वजों से सुनते हुए आए हैं. आप एक हिस्सा देते हैं भगवान जी पूरा संसार आपको दे देते हैं. तो दुनिया में जो है कनेक्टिविटी ऐसी बनती है जब आप देते हो कुछ तभी आपको कुछ मिलता है. और कभी कभी तो ऐसा हो जाता है बिन मांगे ही बिन चाहे ही आपके सारे मुराद भी पूरी हो जाती हैं और वो सब आपको मिल जाता है जिसके लिए आप हकदार नहीं थे.
Today we have with us Ms. Shefali Chopra, a storyteller, a motivational speaker, and a TEDx voice known for her empathy-driven work. She helps us understand how our thoughts, emotions, beliefs, life experiences shape our choices. And today, she's here to bring a psychological lens to money. So the first thing I want to ask you is that, do humans naturally have money instinct, or is everything that we know about money, the way we save, the way we invest, is this something that we've learned over the years?
जब बच्चे पैदा होते हैं तो the first thing that comes to people's mind is love, care, attention, that warmth. So obviously when people think about, especially kids when they think about money, it happens much later on in life. Slowly, steadily, it comes from the society, it comes from your parents, it comes from people around you, the environment. Everything plays a very vital role in this.
So, do you believe that some of the money beliefs that we have and the way we see money, do you think it's influenced before you enter into adulthood in terms of does your family play a very important, vital role?
Family plays a very important role.
Yeah.
I know so many families who only talk money.
Yeah.
It's like a dining table conversation. कि अरे हमने ये खरीदा, this is for this much. Oh, we spent so much money, we went for shopping and we paid so much. We went for this beautiful holiday and we ended up spending so much. So what happens is that when children listen to this kind of conversation, this is all they learn.
Yeah.
Then they think money is so important. So they also start to throw the same thing with their friends. Like, I bought these shoes for maybe 20,000. So they pick up from their families. But then there are families who do not talk money. They talk about empathy, they talk about gratitude, they talk about simple living, and that's what children pick up. That's exactly what they are going to teach their children. If somebody is investing into properties or somebody is investing into gold, then that's exactly what people do.
Okay, so now we've spoken so much about family and learning good, important things, but is there any way that we can unlearn some of the money messages that our family has inculcated in our subconscious mind?
That's a very beautiful question, I must say. The word unlearn, it depicts many things, you see. We are all capable of learning something
Yeah.
and unlearning something and then relearning something. It's just that we have to put a lot of conscious effort to do so.
Yeah.
Everything starts with consciousness. If you decide कि मुझे, I'll give you a very small example. Like somebody parties maybe like 5 times in a week, and now we've just started with 2026, and they decide, no, now this time I'm not going to party so much, so I'm going to cut on that. So what they are going to do is, like, from 5 days they'll take it to 3 days consciously.
Yeah.
Or if you're trying to work on your health, you consciously decide.
Go to the gym, yeah.
You go to a gym, you eat a diet. So similarly, if you decide that I want to spend, or maybe wisely, वो कहते हैं ना, हमारे हिंदी में बड़ी कहावत है कि उतने ही पैर फैलाइए जितनी चादर है. You know, there was a time when I hear stories of my grandparents or even my parents that हर चीज़ कलेक्ट करके, पैसे कलेक्ट करके वो चीज़ें खरीदते थे. You know, it wasn't like suppose they had 100 rupees, they weren't thinking about something 200. They would think within that budget.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, what has happened is so many loans coming through, so many schemes coming up. So people are doing, like, they go and buy things and they keep paying those EMIs.
Yeah, so this is one very important question that, like, in the moment when I'm in the mall, I'll be shopping and, you know, I just go with the flow. Like, and sometimes I know what I'm doing I'll regret later on, but I still do it. So why does this happen?
What happens is when we buy something, it releases a certain amount of dopamine. It gives you that joy. Wow, I have this. But soon enough, that new phone becomes just a phone.
Yeah.
Maybe a travel just becomes a memory. And very soon we lose interest in what we just got. Because it is the story of abundance.
Yeah.
You see? अब हमारे पास, I was just talking to somebody yesterday, and I don't know if you will relate to it or not, but many people will relate to this. When we were in school, we had black shoes and we had white shoes for PT, and then उसके अलावा 1 या 2 जोड़े होते थे. Okay? Today we have 20 pair of shoes.
And we're still not
And we're
satisfied.
still not happy because we're still trying to find that perfect fit. I'm going to wear this orange dress and I need those orange shoes. So there is no end to that, you see. So it's like a rat race.
Yeah,
But I must tell you,
it becomes a vicious cycle.
it
right?
does, it does. And you know, but what the beauty is, there's one little tweak in this, which is, you know, there's sometimes you will realize that you just spent money and it gave you a great amount of joy. And that joy sustains for a little longer period. You know when? When we are giving.
When we're giving back in what way? Like to society?
Giving back to the society, giving back to, maybe like you are going in a car and you decide to buy balloons for a little child on the road. It'll give you more joy than otherwise. Consumption does not give you that kind of joy for a very long time. But if you're sharing, that makes a lot of difference.
That's what, you know, like, I feel like there's this misconception that you can only give back to society when you've reached that big amount of money that you want to earn, right? So how do we start giving away and, like, appreciating society and just playing your role, playing your part in society with small amounts?
It's very easy. As a child, I was not earning, but I used to get a little pocket money from my parents. And I still remember, suppose I was getting 50 rupees, I used to keep those 10 rupees because I wanted to give it away to somebody who needs it more than I do. And my parents really encouraged that little habit that I had. And I had this little box in which I would put that money, and when that money got collected, I would just give it to a place or people. who needed more than I did. So I think these habits can be inculcated when you are much younger. And this also, how does it happen? It only happens in the society, or people who are staying with you at home
Yeah.
are going to teach you that why don't you do this? So, and that also, I think if the parents are doing it themselves, it
Then,
becomes easy
yeah.
for the children
Then
because
the-
they're watching you.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's what I'll give you the example of me and my mom. So my mom runs a non-profit.
Yeah.
Right. So for me, it's not something new that giving back to society. It's not
Yeah.
like, oh, wow, we're doing something, we're
Yeah.
doing charity. That's so
Yeah,
cool.
yeah,
Like it's not
yeah,
like that. It's just, I think it's become a part of my daily life.
Of course.
And then for some people, they don't have the same exposure as like we do. So
Yeah.
I think it becomes important to consciously be aware of giving back and the duty and the obligation that you have to society.
Absolutely. वो कहते हैं ना हर एक चवन्नी ज़रूरी होती है. So I think we all have that little thing of giving it back to society in different ways. It doesn't have to be big amount. It doesn't have to be anything substantial. But if you do it as a daily practice, that if you know, like I know of people that were not doing very well, and I still remember that my grandmother gave that lady 2 saris, and she says, I always see you wearing this one sari, so please take this. So after a few days, my grandmother observed that this lady was always wearing that one sari and not the other one. So my grandmother said, why don't you wear the other one? She says, oh, actually I must tell you, there was this another woman who stays close to my house who didn't even have one.
Oh.
So I gave it away to that lady. So imagine the kind of heart that lady would have had to give it away.
I'm so happy that we touched upon the topic of giving back.
Yeah.
Now, when I see money, for me, money means security,
Of course.
freedom. But so many people attach their self-worth to money, which in some ways it's a really bad thing to do, but in some ways it's also good. So can you touch upon that, please?
See, as we grow up, we realize that money gets us everything, because whether we like it or not, we are bombarded with those advertising billboards, which keep saying, okay, if you buy this, you'll become more important a person.
Yeah.
If you own this, you should, if somebody has a 3-bedroom apartment, now they want a 6-bedroom apartment. So in some places, it's a good idea when you are motivated or driven to work hard and to get more. But many a times what people do is, without realizing, they follow dreams which are actually not theirs. A friend has a Merc, so he thinks, okay, now that he has it, I also must get it. So I think it becomes more like एक रीस हो जाती है, like, okay, this guy has it, so I must get it. So it is out of being jealous, or it's like you're not really following your own dream. I think that is something I would say that people, if get conscious about living, they can live their dreams, just their dreams.
So I also think that, when you work,
Yeah.
when you're like, oh, I have to focus, then this thing comes up in your mind that we have to compromise on our relationships.
For me, couple of C's are very important, which I'll share with you, which is, one is conversations. We must have conversations regarding money, regarding finance, regarding way of life. Then it is connect. You have to connect with things. There was a time when you would feel everything. Now everything is on the phone and you keep swiping. Okay, I want this. Okay. So I think you need a connect. Then there is something called community. So you have to be a part of the right kind of community. Like you said, your mom does so much social work. So you're learning. You're in the right tribe. You're learning the right things, the right value system. And fourth thing is consciousness. So all these things put together will make anybody's life much better. So you get to choose your community, and your consciousness is within you. So you have to use that. And of course, the connection. Now today when we are talking to each other, there's a connect, automatically connect, right? So I think these 4 things are very important.
Okay, I think this is the perfect way to conclude. Thank you so much. It was really insightful, and I'm really glad that the viewers are not just getting the technical aspect to finance and money, but also a more humanistic, a more grounded point of view. So thank you. Money is not just about numbers. It's about security, our choices, dignity, and impact. When we earn thoughtfully, save responsibly, and protect wisely, and give intentionally, money becomes a support system and not a source of stress. This brings us to the end of this season. Thank you for joining us on this journey of understanding money, not just as currency, but as a life tool. Ask yourself 3 questions. What kind of future do I want for myself? What small habit can I start today to move towards it? How can I use money, even in a small way, to help someone else? That's where purpose begins. This was Paisa Wise with Rania Kapoor. Thank you for watching.